Welcome to Tesla Field Physics. I'm Mike Telasky. In this video, I'd like to ask the question: was Otis T. Carr's OTC-X1 flying craft how we really got to the moon? This was the craft that the United States government came in and stole and shut down Otis T. Carr's program and took all his technology. The technology that he was shown by Nikola Tesla. Is that how we really got to the moon? I did a video on this, bringing up the question yesterday, where I showed how Ralph Ring had the Men in Black show up at his house because of some of the experiments that he was doing. Then I played a clip from Amy Eskridge, right at the end. Amy Eskridge is no longer with us because of just what she said at the end of that video. So I talked a bunch about Rocket City, and I said, we're the other Rocket City. We're Roger City. That was my nickname when I was in college by one of my professors, was the Rocket City scientist. So what happened here earlier today kind of lets me know I might be on the right track, because while I was having breakfast in my parents' house at 10:39 this morning, they decided to run a jet supersonic right over my parents' house, which resulted in two huge sonic booms that shook the entire place. And my mom was talking to one of her friends while sitting on her bed. One of her friends, she lives in town. She felt it and heard it too, 5 miles away. And as soon as it went off, I ran outside, and sure enough, there was one of them jets right over the top of the house. So you guys are real geniuses, I'm telling you what. Y'all don't like what I'm doing, and I could give a shit less. It don't matter to me. Either way. But my ear is still a little bit sore. The ear that was facing the sliding glass door, because I was pretty close to it. And it was very powerful. So that was bullshit. But it just lets me know further that I'm on the right track. So Rocket City, yeah, you rocked the city today. You really rocked the city. Just brilliant move. Just unreal what's going on here in northern Michigan. And I'm exposing it all. So let's get into this whole thing. This is how we probably got to the moon. Here we go. What you're looking at here is the OTC-X1. This was the craft built by Otis T. Carr back in the late 50s, early 60s, that the United States government came in, shut down their project numerous times, stole all the technology, and that's possibly how we got to the moon. So Otis T. Carr was the desk clerk at the same hotel that Nikola Tesla lived right up until the time he died. The two became friends. Nikola Tesla knew that he wasn't going to see all this stuff happen in his lifetime, so he passed it down to Otis T. Carr so that Otis T. Carr could carry it on. And that's what he did. And this is what he built. And according to Ralph Ring, who says he took a ride in it, it was fully operational. So the government waited until this guy had his program completely working, and that's when they jumped on it, seized everything, and then you never heard of Otis T. Carr again. He was able to develop a patent for an amusement park ride. And here's a jet coming over right now. You'd swear this place is just a fucking war zone up here. Because it's non-stop. And the nearest airport's like 40 minutes away. So anyways, the OTC-X1 was just one of their craft that they had. They had other prototypes that one of them they actually just lost to the vacuum. They never seen it again. So this whole thing, it only makes too much sense. The timing, we didn't land on the moon until 1969. So it would have been plenty of time for them to figure these things out completely, test them, and then go to the moon. So Otis T. Carr used this whole system with these neutrons, which powered the craft. And it was like an interplanetary craft. So this is Otis T. Carr. He's the guy that befriended Nikola Tesla, like I said, because he worked as a desk clerk at Tesla's hotel where he was living. Otis T. Carr teamed up with Ralph Ring, who continues the story on. You can see his interviews. Here's somebody's model that they made of it. And here's one of the neutron accumulators. This is plasma right there. So, okay, Otis T. Carr he had this big, huge advertisement campaign because he was trying to get people to invest in what he was doing. So here's one of his billboards. He was advertising like crazy. And he was always going to do these demonstrations and stuff, but then weird things always ended up happening. Here's Carr. So he actually got in trouble for all this stuff with these stockholders. And they just kept going after him and going after him and going after him. But this only makes sense, and the time frame only makes sense. There's one of the neutrons. Now I'd like to say something about the neutron. One of my friends, I asked if he could make me one of these because he worked in the machine shop in Alpena. He told me he could probably turn it out because I wanted to do some testing on it. Not even probably 2 months after I asked him, this dude dropped dead of a heart attack. And I never got the thing. So I'm just saying that's another weird coincidence that goes on with all this anti-gravity shit. So there's the OTC-X1. Is that how we really got to the moon? I remember like a quote from one of the astronauts saying, oh, there were other discs also on the moon when they got there. Other discs? So does that mean that's what you flew there in? It's all a crock of shit. NASA, them paper clippers, complete frauds. Complete frauds. Something weird's going on. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. I ain't stopping. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. We're just pushing the throttles forward even further. Thanks for watching. Keep an open mind. Ask questions. But don't let your mind be so open that your brains fall out. Peace.